Here we are. XCOM 2, War of the Chosen. I've been wanting to record a playthrough of this game for a while. Kind of like include people that I know into the game. You know, as soldiers. So, to quickly run down a couple of things, I'm running a few mods, obviously. Okay, so we have Gotcha again, which is just a helpful indicator on whenever there is a line of sight with an enemy or a soldier. It'll help for mostly, I found, squad side snipers, because it'll help actually seeing stuff. There is a new target key in War of the Chosen that helps, but I found that Gotcha again still is very helpful. Instant Avenger menus, because there is a lot of waiting in the Avenger, which you won't see what I mean, but I can talk about it once we get into the Avenger. Evac all is just a cosmetic thing. I like seeing everybody evac simultaneously. It's fun. World War Lost. This is a fun little DLC that I thought would be interesting to add in, because it makes the Lost a lot more dangerous, and we'll get into the Lost later. Extended information, because extended information is always nice. And configurable headshots is just a cosmetic thing. There are a few more, and I will leave links to all of the mods that I have that I'm using now in the description. So no need to worry about that. Alright, we're going to play on Commander. Because I've beaten the game on Veteran. I'm doing a rookie campaign to get a few achievements out of the way, so we're going to play on Commander. I don't quite feel too comfortable playing on not Commander. You know, okay, here. Sure, enable Iron Man, yeah. This is where I'm not sure. I kind of don't want to turn on Lost and Abandoned because I think the mission's a little dull. Plus it forces you to be Reaper. Actually, go back a bit. Okay, I want to start with the Templar. I love Templars. I fucking love Templars. Templars are my favorite unit in the game. They are so much fun to use.
Accessing the feed now. We're in. But I don't know for how long. You seeing this? Way too much security, even for Advent.
That's no ordinary gene therapy clinic. They were telling the truth.
Or they're leading us into a trap. A really obvious trap. We'd need an army to march in there right now.
I've got a better idea. Outrider, this is Central. Go.
You placed upon us, mistakes are bound to happen.
It wasn't our fault. Please.
There's no need for any of this. I will do what you ask of me. I just need additional time. Did you say something? You're one of those? You must understand. I had no choice.
Outrider, report.
So, you do exist. Outrider to Avenger, I have visual confirmation.
Are you sure?
Reapers are always sure.
I'll take your word for it. Cover your tracks and get the hell out of there. They can't know we were here. Yet.
Understood. Now the real war begins.
anniversary of Unification Day.
Thousands line up at the site of the Great Accord, celebrating the formation of the Advent Coalition.
Keeping with their promise to humanity, 12 new gene therapy clinics will be opening in select cities by the end of the new year.
Despite the attempted attack by fringe elements, operations at the new facility in Paris thankfully remain unaffected.
In response to the unprovoked intrusion on the eve of our most beloved celebration, the speaker reaches out to us.
A small number of dissidents again repeat the mistakes of the old world.
Striking as we celebrate a benevolent savior who time and again offers only friendship and compassion.
Yet these trivial actions could never break the bond between humanity and the Elders.
Peacekeeping forces have already made several preemptive arrests of known collaborators. Advent again assures all citizens that today's celebrations will continue as planned.
Perfect.
The Advent administration reminds you to report all suspicious activity to your nearest PCD firm. Only together can we build a better tomorrow. Approaching position. You were right. They've definitely got their hands full today.
Stay focused. Prep Gatecrasher.
60 seconds. Now.
Signal received. Loud and clear. Okay, Gatecrasher. Your turn.
Now that we've got a foothold, it's time to take the fight to Advent. We're heading into the city center to take down a public target. Something that will get people's attention. Neutralize any security forces in the area. Keep your heads down.
Operation Gatecrasher. The first mission in this campaign. It's always Gatecrasher. If you have the tutorial turned on, then you have a nice little, more cinematic mission to play through, where you have Bradford and her helper. I don't remember her name. I don't think that was Shen. I don't think it was Shen. But, and two rookies, one of which dies. But
Menace 1-5. We have a fix on the target. Move to place the X4 charges at the designated position.
We're operating in the shadows.
so, XCOM's turn-based strategy game. Oh, right, Templar.
Specialize in wielding psionic energy, mastering the power that belongs to all who are truly of this earth. Through intense focus, we can twist the very fabric of the world around us to suit our needs.
Yep. So Templars have the special ability that their main attack isn't actually shooting. It's something called Rend, where they run up and slash with two giant psionic blades. And while that sounds dangerous, they have what is called momentum, which lets them basically have a free move action afterwards, which is very handy. So XCOM 2, the primary mechanic of this strategy game is the concealment mechanic. So most missions, there are a few exceptions, which we'll get into further along into the campaign. You start out in concealment. Concealment means that you can basically move around carefully, unimpeded. If you see what is known as a pod of aliens, which is basically like a small group, one of the groups of aliens, then you won't immediately trigger them, depending on how close you get. If you get too close, they'll see you, and then they'll trigger anyways. See, like, we see some enemies. And they're in line of sight.
But their obedience makes them predictable.
They're in line of sight, but they're not being triggered.
Roger that.
Now, breaking concealment is basically whenever you take any shot or anything like that. We're gonna dash you up there. Yeah, that tower can't see us. These towers can be pretty dangerous because, as you can see, they have a wide detection radius. Every tile that they can see you in is marked with like a little eye and exclamation point, so as you can see, like, basically if we go into the ground, we're gonna get spotted immediately. Also, as you can see, if I try to move down here, there is another eye icon, and that is because if I were to do this, oh, I think that's just because I would wander right into, yeah, that's just because I would wander into line of sight. If you ever run through a door, like, look at this. If I run through this door, then I get revealed, because I'm making too much noise by kicking the door open. Same thing happens if I were to go through a window, because I'm smashing through the window. The other indicator that I didn't actually think about until just now, the exclamation point, the triangle exclamation point, is an indicator that it will trigger the pod. So the pod will notice XCOM, and they'll actually be on alert now. They'll actually be trying to kill us, as it were. That is where we need to get to.
You're near the target position.
Yep, that is where we need to get to. We need to get there to plant the X4 charges, which is basically just a giant bomb. So, breaking concealment, there are a few different ways that you can go about breaking concealment, but you always want to break concealment in a preferable situation. We know that this pod is here. It's got 3 troopers. Troopers have 4 health points, as you can see. This is another mod that I have, by the way. This little numerical value. Super useful for some of the later guys. Because, like, sure, there's a cat on the battlefield. Come on, kitty. Get out of here. Things are about to get really loud. You don't want to be around when things get loud. That poor cat. Being stuck in combat. So there's a few ways to break concealment. You can shoot, and you'll basically have, like, a free shot. Like, if I were to shoot here, 86%, 85%, because they're not in cover. In fact, 40% to crit, because I'm technically flanking the target, because they're not even in cover. So they're always counted as flanked. Plus this height advantage is also very handy.
Heading there now.
But concealment is also very important for gathering information. Like seeing just around how... Just what's around this building that we're stationed on, you know? Let's take a second, look around this building. Not every mission will be as slow as this one, by the way. This is one of few missions. So whenever XCOM went to XCOM 2 from XCOM Enemy Unknown, I believe I remember reading that the reason that this was added was because people were spamming Overwatch. Overwatch is mechanics where if an alien wanders into your line of view or moves while they can be seen, you shoot them instead of, you know, taking your action to shoot them. What this led people to do was basically just spam Overwatch until the aliens came to them, so they could just get free shots without being shot back at, and then it's their turn. Which is mostly the same here. If an alien wanders into you, moves into your location, then they only get their one move action, because once a pod is triggered, they get to move. But that is it. And then they get their full move of turns on their next turn. So if you trigger them on your turn, they're going to get their full set of moves on their next turn. So, theoretically, the most preferable way to break concealment is to have a pod find you while having everybody on Overwatch.
Moving on target location.
And I think I have a way to do it. You know what? There's no way for you to get back up. Oh, no, there is. Okay, I changed my mind.
I'm on the move.
I don't want you down there. I want you up here.
Scanning. Containing this area.
So, what I'm going to plan on doing is breaking concealment on this trooper pod. And the plan is we're going to have the 3 rookies up here. We're going to have the 3 rookies up here.
Move, move, move.
Because the rookies have, you know, not very interesting stats.
I comply.
But we need them to survive, so we want them in a safe position. The Templar, however, is literally a melee-focused soldier. So the goal is... Alright.
You have my trust.
This is a little risky, but you know what? It'll pay off. Yes, okay. They didn't get seen.
My senses are scanning.
Eyes on the prize.
So, if they just move just a little bit this way, they move just a little bit this way, they move just a little bit this way.
Covering now.
There you go. Maybe a bit too much. Maybe some of the rookies can't see you. Maybe you can't see the Templar. Oh my god, the Templar is right outside of range. God damn it. Oh, alright. You can't see any of them. Holding Alt brings up this target preview at the very bottom, and as you can see, I can kind of, like, you know, look around and see who gets seen by what. So, as you can see, I won't see any soldiers here, but I'll see one here. And that's also displayed over here by the little icon. This is the little icon next to their health bars, that's Gotcha again. So, I found that Gotcha again is far more reliable than just relying on the alt for some instances. Like, look at that. Oh, target preview does say I would see two. Oh, it didn't earlier. That's bizarre. Alright, we're going to go in Overwatch again.
Moving to Overwatch.
There you go. 1 down. 2 down.
Target neutralized. Prepare to fight.
That's 2 troopers down immediately. And that's 1 ready to kill. Alright. So, the special Templar man. Rend. It's a run-up melee attack. We're actually going to do this and cause some noise and see if we can attract any other pods. So when a Templar gets a kill with Rend... Amazing camera angles there, I gotta say. They get focus. And we found a repeater.
The strength of the Templars ebbs and flows with the tide of combat. As we focus our energy, our power increases and can be unleashed upon our enemies.
After using Rend, Templars always trigger Momentum, a free movement action which allows them to return to the safety of cover. If the Templar has the Parry ability, they can instead use Momentum to stay in the same location and prevent all damage from the next attack made against them. That is also very handy. It is just straight up no damage, so no need to worry about any instances where it's like, sure, there's not a chance, because this is XCOM. Let's be real here. This is XCOM, and if you know anything about XCOM, it's that RNG is both your god and your devil. RNG dictates all in this. And there will be nobody saying otherwise. There will be some missions where you get off scot-free without a care in the world. And there will be others where you just don't hit a single shot. There was a mission in and here's a real showcasing of how difficulty in this game is. There was a mission I did. That cat is back. Get off the battlefield. Come on. There was a mission I did on rookie difficulty, and it was supposed to be just a quick clean 'em up mission. Especially since I'm at the end of the campaign of the rookie campaign. The only reason why I haven't ended it yet is because I'm making a dumb team so that I can clear the final mission. So,
I will sense any disturbance. Moving to Overwatch. Moving to Overwatch. What's making that noise?
oh, they're over there. I was wondering where they were. Okay, so if they're over here, we want to shift over here. So as you can see, I'm kind of scouting with my Templar first.
Moving to position.
Mostly because the Templar is going to get down there anyways. The Templar is going to be used to kind of lead them back to me. Man. Thank God Steam notifications don't show up on OBS. I think just to be safe. Just to be safe. Sign out real quick. Didn't think about that. I'm going to lead them back to me with the Templar, so that we retain our height advantage.
My watch begins. On Overwatch. Overwatch.
Because
We move with arrogance.
rookies don't have a great aim spot, and if we let them take high cover, we're going to have a hell of a time trying to hit them. Of course, we could use grenades, but, I mean, you know, why use grenades when you can just shoot them?
Come get some. I definitely heard their calls.
They're probably like right on the other side of the statue. I think if I run up and plant the X4 charge, they'll be mad. Yeah, let's just plant it real quick. What did you pick up?
X4 module is armed. Neutralize any remaining hostile contacts.
Okay, you still haven't moved.
Covering now. On Overwatch.
Now, he made the indication of hearing Advent, so I feel like they heard that, which means they might. No, okay. All right, trigger. Hello.
The Advent
Yep, and there's a captain.
more capable than the grunts. We're not sure whether to chalk it up to training or stricter mind control.
Hi. Hello. All right. Now, did any of you see any of them? Coincidentally, no.
Affirmative. Covering now. On Overwatch.
So what we're going to do is we're going to run the fuck away. I feel like this is a safer position. Or we can murder one. We could always murder one. And actually, in fact, we could murder you and then probably run back. Maybe not to this cover, but to this one. So, let's go ahead and just get the kill. There. I love that animation so much. It's so pretty. That gives us +2 focus. So, another mechanic about Templars and rend is that when they rend with focus, they do more damage. So that's something to keep in mind, is consistently getting kills with rend is a good idea. Pew pew pew! See, 35% chance to hit. That's extended information, is telling me what their chance to hit was. Ooh, another miss. 25% chance to hit.
Got it covered. Got it covered. You will pay the price.
We're gonna shank him in the same place that we shanked his friend. And we're gonna run the fuck away. Ooh. Another 35. Alright. Let's get you out of there. Let's get you out of there somewhere good. Yeah.
The power guides me.
I'm sure with 2 focus level, you probably could kill the officer.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
This Battlefield cat is so needy. This Battlefield cat.
On Overwatch.
Okay. Now you see, even with the height advantage, the high cover is a minus 40% to hit. So you can see why letting them have it is a bad idea. Oh, cat.
Let's do this.
This cat is my second in command, apparently. She really wanted to oversee this mission. Okay.
No one gets by me.
There we go. 4 damage. See, 60% hit to hit, even with the Overwatch penalty. So one thing to note is that overwatching imposes an aim penalty when you shoot.
We're not picking up any inbound contacts. Scanners are clear. Status confirmed. Squad is clear. Detonating charges.
And there we go. There we have it. Operation Gatecrasher complete. And of course we're going to take a mission photo. These mission photos are honestly my favorite bit. I'm not the best photographer, of course, because that's my sister's thing, not mine. I think this was the elder statue we were supposed to level, even though I didn't actually keep the fact that we leveled it. But you know what? There's some Advent corpses right there. They're right. They're just kind of there. Ah, the captain's in the back. Let's kind of have it like this. Then we can hit randomize a few times, kind of see what we get. Yeah, I'm not the best at this. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm not the best. But I'm definitely going to take a photo every single time. Even if it's just me hitting randomize a few times.
Advent officials announced an increase to this month's recruitment quotas.
I'm sure you did. I put a few down. It was a flawless mission too. But it was also Gatecrasher. It's the first mission. That mission used to have a sectoid on it. And sectoids in this game, if you played Enemy Unknown, sectoids in this game are far more dangerous. They are incredibly lethal early game.
If we keep this up, the aliens don't stand a chance, Commander.
Alright. Miyamoto
Serving
is our gunner, Grenadier.
Grenadiers provide heavy ordnance delivery whenever and wherever we need it.
With a giant rocket launcher and a giant machine gun. Decker.
Operating some of our most advanced equipment, specialists deploy robotic drones on the battlefield that can be outfitted for combat or field medic duty.
Our specialist. I like specialists, and I tend to always end up speccing them in the battle medic, which we'll get into later. And right.
The Ranger serves as our primary reconnaissance unit, capable of moving independently in concealment while engaging enemies at close range.
Got a repeater, 5 troopers, an officer. That's pretty standard.
To the research labs.
Impressive, isn't it? Capable of generating immense power, yet completely harmless to human life. If only the same could be said for the rest of the aliens' technology. Commander. Dr. Richard Tigan, Chief Science Officer. I am responsible for the entirety of our research here, as well as the procedure you so recently underwent. Welcome to my lab, such as it is. I'm not sure what Central may have told you, but we found something while removing you from the alien stasis suit. A device implanted directly in your occipital lobe. Had I access to the equipment available to me during my tenure at Advent, I would already know the precise nature of its function. However, given time and your approval, of course, Commander, I assure you, I will find out. Which brings to light an additional point. Though aspects of this facility are indeed impressive, I am but one man. Were you to direct additional support personnel and resources to me, I could substantially improve the speed of all our research. Farewell, Commander.
Alright, so our first research, I'm going to say, is actually modular weapons, since that will let us actually use the little things that we'll be picking up along the way during all of the missions. Plus, it's relatively fast.
Okay, reworked your repulsors with some of the parts I salvaged from their old engine. Should fix that stabilization problem you had. Come on, Rover. It'll work. Commander! Getting our tech to talk to theirs is harder than you'd think. Lily Shen, Chief Engineer, at your service. You were probably expecting to see my father. In Given all that's happened, I'm guessing Central didn't tell you yet. He's gone. Dad gave everything he had to get us this far. This entire ship is his life's work. I know he would have loved to show you around the place himself. He used to talk about you a lot. You can be sure I'm ready to finish what he started. Might not look it, but from here, I can fabricate pretty much anything you come up with. And with a little more help, well, you'd be amazed with what I can do. It was an honor to finally meet you, Commander.
She's sweet. She's really sweet.
You'd be surprised how big of a difference some of these things can
Start
make.
buying a medkit and a flashbang. That's definitely the start.
Anything we need in no time. There's room for us to expand our facilities on board the Avenger, Commander.
And we're going to start with the building a resistance ring. Resistance ring will help us get into the resistance operations, which I think is pretty important to get started sooner rather than later.
Commander, good to see you on your feet again. Welcome to the bridge, the nerve center of our operation. The aliens have our entire world in their grip. Advent controls everything. Government, communications, industry, not to mention the military. And it's on us to take it all back. Resources and time are tight, Commander. It'll be up to you to decide how to best use both. The ship is yours.
The ship is mine indeed.
Unique, but so far everything seems on the level. We're receiving the position of the Templar HQ now. We don't know much about these Templars, so it might be worth sticking around here for a while, as well as contacting Geist, their leader.
My people understand the value of our cooperation, Commander. The Elders see us as nothing more than raw materials for their design. We will take back our power and turn it against them. I greet you as an ally, facing a shared enemy. My followers seek balance with the psionic forces that flow through the Earth and all its inhabitants. We channel this energy, aided by technology of our own design, to pursue justice for those who have fallen victim to the Elders and their servants.
We will master what is rightfully ours, the power that the Elders claim is their own.
Commander, one of our resistance contacts just tipped us
So,
off to a site that may be worth investigating.
we won't be able to see the depths of the resistance operations just yet. So we'll start off by the main mechanic of the game, which is the main strategy,
Commander, the Avengers
strategy
scanning capabilities
thing, which is scanning various locations for various items. So this one will take a few days to scan, and we're scanning for supplies. And in the meantime, we got the modular weapons made. We've had the troops digging through scrap piles and looting corpses, and at this point, it's safe to assume they're on constant vigil for anything we could use to improve our gear. All the raw materials in the world won't mean much if I can't find a use for them, but I think this modular weapon system is a good start. Having pushed our existing designs about as far as I thought possible, the integration of a few key alien components provided that much needed stability we've been looking for. With these modifications in place, we should be able to attach larger upgrades for even more firepower. The troops will like that. El Shen. Really Shen. So yeah, now the repeater we picked up from the last mission, we can actually now attach that to a gun of ours and use it. I believe next we will go ahead do alien biotech. We'll get that out of the way. That is the story priority mission that we need to get out of the way. So, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to record some supplies. Rookies, that's nice. One of the biggest reasons I wanted to record XCOM 2 was, first of all, I love the game. Second of all, it would have been nice to include people, not only people that I know, but also people that are watching, as soldiers. Yep. So this is a guerrilla op, which is basically just a mission. What we just did, Operation Gatecrasher. So, how this series is actually going to work is we will go from mission to start of next mission. So this is actually where we will be calling it for now. But I pose to you, to everybody watching, anybody you wish to be. be sure to leave a comment and claim them. So we have Iris Decker here, who is our first specialist. Nobu Miyamoto, who is our first grenadier. Holly Wright, who is our ranger. And Lucy Brown, nicknamed Scorch, who is our Templar.
I probably wouldn't be alive today if it weren't for your father.
Minerva really likes the Templar. I like the Templar too. Templar season is my
Getting
favorite.
the Avengers power back online was a miracle. I'm not entirely sure.
So, and there's all these rookies that you can claim if you so choose. If you don't even want to know which guy you want to, which class you're going to end up being. So be sure to pick any character you want to be.
Both a debt of gratitude.
And I will rename the pattern I'm going to be using to rename is first name, just an underspace, and then last name, that. And I will tell you right now that I will not keep everybody designed as they are, because that tends to get pretty boring, because as you can see, like, you know, they all kind of use the same color pattern, and that's less interesting. So I use the nicknames to try and figure out how I want to design them. So like Scorch, let's take a second here and kind of design Scorch up. So I'm gonna keep the Templar helmet because it seems wrong to take him out of it. I think a bigger circle would be nice, and you can't really see much else underneath the helmet. Kitty cat, you wanna come play dress up with me? You wanna come play dress up? Oh, she's coming. She's coming to play dress up. She's coming to play dress up. Welcome to dress up, kitty cat. You probably just came to laying down on my lap. Oh, you're such a nicky kitty. You're such a nicky kitty. So, Scorch. Obviously, it's fire, right? So we're gonna make him fiery. Red and orange. The armor pattern, we want something that kind of hints at, like, you know, flames. I'm not sure if we'll actually get something. Ooh. You know what? I kind of like that. Kind of like that. Kind of gives like a kind of flamish vibe off. Of course, you need to have both your arms covered because, you know, there's fire everywhere. You need to be sure to remain covered. It's a good shoulder. You know what? That. I like shoulder. I like conventional. That's what it is. I like conventional. Kind of gives more of a feeling of, like, you know, a fireproof suit. Torso gear, single tube or double tube. That's this right here around the neck. And I think a single tube probably works better for you. Oh, there she goes. She got tired of dress up. Leggings. I definitely like this more. I think the padding is good for a fireproof suit, and the pattern on the thighs is their little tabard thing. And we're gonna go pattern B. Pattern B looks nice, and you can't see any tattoos, so there's no point for any arm tattoos. And of course, she's very loud tonight. Hope she's not going back into heat. That'd be very disheartening. So yeah, that's kind of how I like to design up people. And sometimes it can be interesting, sometimes not so much. I'm not the best designer in the world. I'm not too creative, as it were. I try to be. And if you claim a soldier and you don't like how I design them, well, feel free to pitch something different. Pitch a nickname if you want. In fact, it is entirely possible to change nicknames. I can't change them until they get high enough level, but, you know, that'll be fine. That is where I will be ending for today, so be sure to leave a comment about somebody you want to claim, and I will be very open to accepting them. Ta-ta for now.